I'm Joel Engardio, and I believe that good public schools are essential for a city to thrive. Do you believe that?
Yes.
I believe that the best cities make families a priority because the future of a city depends on making an investment in the next generation. Do you believe that?
Yes.
I believe the first step is to have well-run public schools. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Good, we're in the right place. But let's be honest. We are here because San Francisco is not a very family-friendly city. We have one of the lowest percentage of children in the nation. And a big reason that families leave San Francisco is because our public schools are not well run. Who's here to change that? All right. Our school board has been failing at its job and failing parents and students for a number of years. But it was the failures that became even more pronounced during the pandemic. In a crisis, the school board failed at its core job in a big way. It delayed reopening schools, and that caused students to suffer from learning loss, isolation, and mental health issues for many months longer than necessary. The school board refused to hire a consultant to reopen schools, which the superintendent said was a body blow. It wasted time and money renaming schools instead of reopening them, and used a flawed system that had zero academic rigor. The renaming committee didn't even know if Roosevelt Middle High School was named for Teddy or FDR. So they found reasons to eliminate both. And the school board ended merit-based admission at Lowell, one of the nation's best high schools. It did this instead of reopening high schools or trying to make every high school one of the best in the nation. And then the school board drove our schools into a financial ditch. The deficit is so bad, the state says our school district is no longer fiscally solvent. Now we're facing the threat of a state takeover. And more families are pulling their kids out of public schools. Declining enrollment means even less funding. So we're here to stop this cycle to the bottom. That's why we're here to recall the school board. And it's a miracle that we're here. Do you know how many experts said a recall could never be done? It's been 40 years since anyone has been able to gather enough signatures to put a recall on the ballot in San Francisco, and we had to do it in a pandemic. We had to get 50,000 pen-on-paper signatures when everyone was still working at home and social distancing. Yet we did it.
Yeah.
We did it. Against all odds, we made history. And we did it thanks to the many little miracles by everyone in this room. Let me give you an example. Before everyone could get vaccinated, we gathered signatures with a drive-through. And I don't think this has ever been done in San Francisco before. So I bought these little orange soccer cones. And then I got up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday and I placed these little cones along 3 blocks in front of Lowell High School. We didn't want cars parking where our little drive-through was supposed to be. 15 volunteers came, and they planned to stand at the curb and hand the petition through the car window. So everyone lined up at the curb and waited. We had no idea if any cars would show up. We had 500 cars on the first day. And it was a total traffic jam. I mean, I was like freaking out. Oh my God, what did we create? One volunteer, Tom Collin, realized, we need a traffic director. So on his own, he just went out into the middle of the street and started directing traffic. He signaled cars with his arms and clipboard, moving cars up and down to open slots along the curb. He ran up and down the street, turning chaos into a perfectly timed ballet dance. Beautiful sight to behold.
Yay, Tom!
Thank you, Tom, for your miracle on that day.
Is he here?
And speaking of sights to behold, gay dad David Thompson started dressing up as Gabraham Lincoln. He wore rainbow platform boots and a top hat because as the school board wasted time trying to rename Abraham Lincoln High, David's son was struggling in Zoom school. David was fed up, so he became Gabraham Lincoln to support the recall. Let me tell you about one more little miracle. A mom brought her middle school son to the drive-thru. They volunteered to hold signs at a nearby intersection. The boy was shy. He didn't want to be holding up a sign on a busy intersection. He wanted to be at home playing video games. But his mom insisted, because this was about his future. And the mom waved her sign vigorously and waved at the cars, and the boy stood still and hid behind his sign. And then a car going by honked. And then another, and then another. And the mom got excited and cheered and replied to every honk, and she started dancing with her sign. And the boy laughed, first smile of the day. More car honks, and the boy peeked his head out from behind his sign. And then he waved. And the cars kept honking in support, and before long, the boy was dancing with his mom. And everyone in this room contributed to the miracle of this effort. Thank you.